out there. This is Donna Lewis, Program Volunteer Coordinator for the Clark County Park District, and we are going to give you some ideas of what to do on the trail. So in this time of social distancing that we're being encouraged to do for our own health and for others, it's a great time to get outside and explore outside. All of you kids that are kind of off school or have less school than you normally do, great time to go outside. And you don't have to come to the parks to do some of this. You can do it out in your backyard. But this is a good place to come. But we encourage you to still practice social distancing on the trail. So what we're going to do is look for salamanders today. We are going to post some activities on our website at www.clarkcountyparks.org. But we are also going to do some videos to show you how to do some things on the trail, just simple things to find animals. Now, the way to find salamanders, we're going to start with salamanders. So your first investigation is going to look for the slippery salamanders. They're really not slimy. They don't have sweat glands like we do, but they stay in moist environments, so it makes them pretty wet to the touch. But the thing you want to remember is we're going to look for them and observe them, but not touch them, because salamanders are very susceptible to things getting through their skin. So just like us touching someone right now, if we have germs on our skin, gets transferred to them, salamanders are even more sensitive to the things that are on our skin. So when we touch them, we can sometimes make them sick, give them something we don't mean to give them. So it's a good idea with animals as well to practice distancing and not to touch them, but to observe them from a distance. And the rule of thumb is, I don't think I can do this, I'm by myself. If you hold your thumb out in front of you and you can't see the animal beyond your thumb, then you're far enough away. Now, you're at a safe distance. Remember, animals are going to try to protect themselves when you try to touch them. So it's important to not touch any animal you don't know. So for salamanders, we're going to get a little closer today, but we're not going to touch them. I'm just going to show you a couple ways to find them as you're on the trail. And sometimes you can find salamanders in your backyard and other amphibians like frogs. So we're looking for logs like these. I am new at this. So old dead logs. So if we look under that old dead log, let's see if I can switch the camera. Again, was not born in this era of technology. All right, let's see if we can see it. So if we look under that log, we're going to see what's under there. So no salamanders under there. But this is the kind of environment they like. You can see pill bugs, little, maybe mites under there. Sometimes you'll find spiders and other things. You can see too, while we're on the trail, that a lot of wildflowers are popping up. So the Tecumseh Trail is a great place at George Rogers Clark Park to see a lot of our wildflowers. Okay, I'm going to span back to me. All right, so as we walk along the trail, we're going to look for some other old logs. So it's important to carefully uncover the log, to tip over the log carefully. Don't do too many, maybe a few. See what you find and then let the other ones alone, maybe for another day when somebody else comes on the trail, because after so many people looking at them, they may move. It may affect their behavior in some way that can be detrimental to them. So let's see, there's a nice big log over here. Okay, so you can go off the trail, but make sure you're careful of the wildflowers around you. They're pretty resilient, but if too many people walk on them, they're not going to be. So there's 3 salamanders under here. I hope you can see them. And it looks like a little grub of some sort. So 3 eastern redback salamanders are under this log by itself. So when I put this back, I don't want to smash them. So I'm going to put it back very carefully. All right, so something you can do to help you identify salamanders, that was the eastern redback salamander. That is one of the most common that you'll find here at George Rogers Clark Park. There might be some other species close to the creek or the lake. But one thing you can use, if I can get it out of my pocket, is the Amphibians of Ohio guide, because salamanders are an amphibian and means they can live in water or outside the water. They usually lay their eggs in moist areas. Okay, so what we saw today is an eastern redback salamander. I gotta find it in the book. Spotted salamanders we don't usually see here, but very cool salamander to find. We have a lot of different salamanders in Ohio, and there's been a lot of research done. But this is what we saw today. This is the eastern redback salamander. So it gives you kind of the habitat it would live in all over Ohio, and gives you some details about it. So since you can't come to the Davidson Interpretive Center right now, we always keep these guides there, but right now we're going to be closed until May 1st. But since you can't come into the building, you can always download these from Division of Wildlife's website. So if you look up Ohio Division of Wildlife, they have a resource link that can get you to these guides, and you can look at them online from your phone or download them. So this is a really fun thing that you can do on the trail, and there's going to be a lot of other things you can do on the trail too. Listen for birds that you hear. I've heard chickadees and red-bellied woodpeckers. I hear people out there on the trail too, a family having fun. But you can also see the wildflowers popping up, the buds on the trees. Look for acorns that squirrels have left behind, and I'll talk about that another video. But you can also look at the moss on the trees. Look at the moss on the ground. It usually indicates pretty healthy forest. Look at the bugs underneath the logs, just like we did for the salamanders. The important thing to remember is observe and don't touch, and try to leave their habitat the way that you found it. It's very important that their home be someplace they feel safe. We don't want them to leave because we've disturbed it too much. So it's really important, as we're keeping distance, to also keep distance from the other animals while you observe them, so that you don't scare them and make them act in ways they normally wouldn't. So thank you for joining me today to look for salamanders. I hope you can find some on the trail, and I hope that you learn a little bit along the way. So I plan to do some more videos throughout this quarantine, stay-at-home order that we have to keep us safe, to keep others safe. But you can still get outside and enjoy the parks as long as we're able to, or get outside in your own yard and see what you can find outside. There's a lot outside your own back door. So thank you very much. This is Donna Lewis again from the Clark County Park District. Have a great day. Thank you.